and welcome back to Dark Cloud. Last time, we defeated Dran at the bottom of Divine Beast Cave and restored the village of Norune back to what it's supposed to be. This time, I'm back here because we forgot to go talk to somebody after fully restoring Norune. So let's go see what he has to say. How was it? Did you get to see Dran? You did? Oh, I see. Dran is resourceful indeed. What? You're going after the Dark Genie? And you'll leave Norune Village to go to Matataki Village? Matataki Village. That's the Hunter's Village, south of this village. Be careful. For the time being, Norune Village is safe, but as for the other villages... So he's given us a little bit of a warning that outside Norune may not be as safe as we thought it was. But, for the time being, we're all finished here, so let's say we go ahead back to Matataki Village. That's not what I wanted to do. So, we could go directly to Matataki Village, but another benefit of this map is you can go right into the dungeon without having to go to the village first. Since we don't really have much to do in Matataki since we've only done one floor of the Wise Owl Forest, we might as well just go back and do the next floor. Got a Monday! Alright. I don't think we saw one of these before, but yes, they have spears and will... Yeah, they have spears and will definitely be a little bit of a pain in the ass. And a Tuesday. These have poison darts, so watch out for those. Alright. If you guys couldn't tell, or if I haven't said it already, I love this dungeon theme. Probably my favorite out of all the dungeon themes. It just feels so peaceful when you're walking through. Obviously, right now we're hearing the combat music, but compared to the music in Divine Beast Cave, which was just your kind of generic dungeon music, which wasn't anything bad about it. I mean, I like the music in Divine Beast Cave, but this one just feels so tranquil and peaceful, and you really just you feel relaxed going through this dungeon. When the last one, you're like, ooh, okay, nice, dark, scary cave, but just listen for a second. Got interrupted by the combat music, but you get my point. It definitely just feels more relaxed. Wow, epic close-up there because of the camera. Ooh, new enemy, Flee. I believe these also can curse you with their gas, so be careful getting close to them. And they also have that big headbutt attack, so watch out for that as well. Come on. Okay, you actually did 3 hits, wow. And he does a nice little spinny animation when he dies, which I think is really funny. I see we have another one coming towards us there. Let's go ahead and heal up before I get myself killed again. We get some river, which is actually what we're after right now. Okay, come on. Get closer, there you go. Surprised I didn't take damage there. It looked like he was right on top of me. Oh, puts out 2 clouds right there. Just gotta be careful with that. Ow. Okay. There we go. There we go. Alright. And we have a third one here. Come on. Come on. Stop backing away from me. There we go. God damn, almost dead again. There we go. Now that we're at this point in the game, where we're back at the Wise Owl Forest, there's another story I'd like to tell you guys that came along with setting up this Let's Play. I don't believe I've mentioned it yet, but I had already recorded a lot of videos previously for this. The first time I tried to do this Let's Play, I recorded probably up until floor 5 of this dungeon, if I had to guess, before I realized, when I started going back to start editing some of the videos, because I just did it all in one big recording session because I really had nothing to do, I went back and realized that I didn't set up my sound properly, and none of the game sound could be heard at all. All you heard was my commentary, and there were plenty of times where I said to the audience, like, hey, take a second to listen to the music, which was really awkward because there was no music playing. So unfortunately, I did have to start from scratch and redo the entire game all the way from the beginning, which is why there was such a gap between the first two parts and all the ones I've been uploading recently, and that's why. If I did go into detail about this, I will apologize, but I'll go into further detail about it now. The build-up mechanic. So, when you're building up a weapon, you can see it can be built up to the following weapons. We don't know what it is yet, but when we click on the question mark, all the stats in red are ones that need to be bumped up before we can build up the weapon to something even stronger. So as you can see, we need Ice, Wind, and Holy, and then we need Metal Breaker and Mage Slayer. So we'll go ahead and throw a Holy. Actually, what do these gems do? Let me see. That gives us a lot of Wind and just a lot of Sky Hunter. All right. Opal. Oh, it gives us 10 in both of what we need. Doesn't really give us anything elemental, but gives us a huge endurance boost. Yeah, we'll give it an opal. And then we'll give it... Oh, I don't have any ice ones. What does this one do? Turquoise. Gives us plenty of ice. Heck yeah. And it gives us some rocket mimic breaker, but you know what? It's good. So we'll throw a couple gems on there, and we'll upgrade it. Hell yeah. So now those are both good, so we just need Ice, Wind, and Holy, and then we're good. So we'll go ahead and we'll throw Wind and a Holy. There we go. Alright, let's keep going. And we get a free repair powder there. Very, very nice. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I researched this a little bit, and apparently there wasn't much grammar check in this game when it was being translated to English for the US. So most of the different names that you've been seeing, like how Gina was Xena, and there's occasionally some grammatical errors. That's because there wasn't much work done with the translation. And it was kind of just straight translated from Japanese without much grammar checking. So the development team got a bit lazy in that aspect, but otherwise I feel like they did a decent job. I mean, at least we can understand what the characters are saying and they're not saying nonsense. And speaking of Dark Cloud localization, if you didn't know, this game does have one sequel. In the US, it is called Dark Cloud 2. However, pretty much anywhere outside the US, it is called Dark Chronicle. And Dark Chronicle, I feel like, is a better name for it. Or actually, no, I feel like Dark Cloud 2 is the better name for it, because it does feel a lot like this game. It just has different characters, and it has different characters and a different story, obviously, but the way the dungeons work is pretty much the exact same. Like, they're still upgrading your weapons the same way, there's still, like, randomized dungeon layouts, and there's, like, special boss keys that enemies drop. I have played a little bit of the second game. I haven't played through it too much, though, because, honestly, I didn't realize that this game had a sequel until probably I was about 15. When I was randomly scrolling on YouTube one day and found a walkthrough for it, and I'm like, wait a minute, there's a Dark Cloud 2? And sure enough, I looked it up, and it came out only a few years after this game. So, but I guess it just didn't pick off as well because I just never really saw it and never really played it. But I did try and play through it a little bit, and I got stuck on the second dungeon. It is definitely a lot harder than this one is. But I may return to it at some point in the future, and if I decide to do a Let's Play on it, I might, but it won't be for a very, very long time, because I don't want to do just 2 games back-to-back of the exact same series. And, oh, we got a new enemy. Hold on. This is a, let me target it, a hornet. Yeah, I thought it would have a more creative name, but yeah, it's just a hornet. Giant bee. Just be careful of that, because obviously a giant bee will cause poison. So, avoid that. But yeah, I might do a Let's Play of the second one if I decide to go back and play through it, but I never got past the second dungeon when I played it the first time. And that was only a couple years ago, like it was probably only like 2 years ago. But I may at some point try it again, but it just didn't stand out to me as much as this one did. And it also was a bit of a difficulty spike, and at some points it had me a lot frustrated. So, I might give the second one a shot again after finishing this Let's Play, and if I decide to do a Let's Play on that one as well, I will. Oh, King Prickly, new enemy. It'll show up on screen, it'll show up on the map, and it will have this little shadow here. You just want to make it drop down, and while it's on the ground, you want to hit it. And then if it stays on the ground long enough, it'll swing back up, and you have to bait it down again. Definitely the hardest part about those ones is don't let it hit you on the way down. We got a revival power there. Very, very good. Here we get... fire. Alright. Thursday. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's go ahead and repair real quick. Let's see. Okay, yeah, already. Alright, it's only at 24. Alright. Here's our map, so we have the back floor up here. A bit surprised that we haven't seen the back floor key yet, because like I said before, it is quite common in this dungeon. Much more than it was the last one. But I'm sure we'll see it eventually. I'll go over it more once we see it, like I said. So, here we got another King Prickly, and that one almost actually got me. Really quick to almost hit me. Throw a berry. Sweet. Alright. I can see a locked door over there, so we're gonna have to find a key somewhere. Let's head up this way first. Oh, we got a King Prickly. I'm targeting it. There it is. Oh, we dropped something. Hold on, go back. If you listen really closely, you can hear the hornets from very far away, so you know you're about to encounter one like that. Thirsty, alright. And if you noticed, Tone actually has one extra unit of hunger, that's because, or extra unit of thirst, that's because when I was going through my items before I started recording, I found an extra gourd in there and just gave it to Tone. Mustache key, that is what you need to open locked doors in this dungeon. Last dungeon it was the skeleton key, this time it's a mustache key. Very interesting change. We went from bones to mustaches. And surprisingly, there's nothing else in this room. I thought that was about to be disproven by me picking up the crystal, but it was not. So we have 3 enemies down here. And I see that there's a atmosphere in that one room. It's locked. We'll have to head over there. Alright, so we got another hornet. Oh, that did a lot of damage. Okay, cool. There we go. Where are you? Alright, I hear you. Where are you? There we go. Another Thursday. Come on. Quit backing up, I swear. These things are so annoying. Get over here. Let me slash you. There you go, you're up against the wall now, nowhere to go. I really had to back him into a corner to kill him. Alright, so get this one here. we got somebody's laundry. Nice. So while saving the world, we need to put aside some time to do somebody's laundry. Oh, and he doesn't want the chestnut. Okay. How about a berry for you, sir? No. Wow. I said the shiny stone was the most rare, and that's now 2 owls out of the 3 floors that we've done that have wanted it. Maybe I had that wrong and the berry is rare? Who knows? Might as well just keep going. I mean, there's no reason not to. Oh! Okay, we have a limited floor with using only Zhao. Wow, luckily the exit's right here. Okay, gotta repair her weapon. So we're at least doing not just 1 damage all the time. You know, I'm still surprised. We're 4 floors into the 2nd dungeon of the game and still nothing for Zhao. Hopefully on her own floor, if she has a separate floor, we will find something for her. I would really hope so, because I'm sick of this wooden slingshot, and she can be so good if you get a good weapon for her. That's the thing about some of these party members, is that once you get them, you need to get a good weapon for them, or else they're, like, nearly completely useless to you. Like, literally, if we were Tone right now, this thing would go down in 1 hit, but unfortunately, since we only have a wooden slingshot, it's taking us forever to kill this thing. And also, something I wanted to mention. Your food and your repair powder can be put on your active items. Okay. No, okay, your repair powder cannot, but your food can. Yeah, so you can put your food on as an active item. However, I tend to not want to do this, mostly just because I'll switch over to it, and then out of habit, I'll just hold down square to use my trans feather again. But then I'll accidentally forget to switch back to the trans feather, and end up using a piece of food I didn't want to, and then have it screw me over. So, while having it as an active item makes it easily accessible, I tend to waste a lot of items by doing that, so I just don't. Yeah. This is taking forever. My god. Alright, well we got the chestnut. Let me go see if that's what the owl wants. Oh, message key. The door's right there. Let me see if that's what the owl wants, because if we can at least find the exit key, then I at least don't have to go through and kill any more enemies. And we can just go through the floor as normal. And just get all the chests that we can find. Oh, sweet. Chestnut. That's what we wanted. Alright, so cool. Now we can go through the rest of the floor, find whatever chest we can. Crossing our fingers that we might get a big chest, but I'm not keeping my hopes up. Honestly, if you're having bad luck like me, and you can't find a good weapon, you can go back and ground. God, I cannot freaking talk today. There's going to be so many speaking mistakes when I go back and watch this. I'm going to hate this recording. But unfortunately, we're too deep into it, so I don't want to restart. Basically, you can go back and grind some of the earlier floors either in this one or Divine Beast Cave and just keep going until you find a big chest with a weapon for Zhao. I personally just don't want to, because I want to just progress with the game, and if we can't get Zhao a good weapon, we can't get Zhao a good weapon. And we just won't use her as much. But I would like to give Zhao more screen time instead of just shoving her to the back and only using her when she's dragged out. Because that's another thing, is you can ignore, like, buffing up these party members and all that, but the thing you can't ignore is the fact that there's going to be limited floors that drag out every single one of your party members from time to time. Like, when we get more party members going down the line, they are also going to have their own limited floors and dungeons where you are forced to use them. So, if there's one party member you don't like, you're gonna have to suck it up and play as them for at least a little bit, So, go ahead and anti-freeze amulet. That's actually pretty good. Unfortunately, there is no enemies in this dungeon that cause freeze, so that's kind of useless to us right now. So let's go ahead and go to the exit, because it's just enemies left. And there we go. Made a lot of progress in this dungeon already. See, it's nice when you're going into a dungeon and you have a lot of repair powder and items and stuff already, because then you can just do a whole bunch of floors at once without having to keep continuously leave the dungeon, which is very, very nice. Because if you're constantly leaving and going back, it causes a lot of time waste, because like, you'll go into the dungeon, you'll get a lot of Atlas spheres, and then you'll come back out, and it's like, wait a minute. Now I gotta place all this stuff down, talk to these people, help all these people's requests, and then go back into the dungeon, and then keep going back and forth. And it gets annoying, and while there are some parts in the dungeon that force you to leave the dungeon for a little bit to complete some of that stuff, it's nice when you're not doing it every, like, 1 or 2 floors, because earlier in the game, when you're only talking to the mayor and only getting 1 of each supply, that's definitely one of the most painful stretches in this game, especially when you've gotten all the way to the end and have beaten it multiple times. I don't know, just ranting about some of my petty little complaints about the game, but obviously, some of the lows that I'm saying do not compete with the highs. Because like I've said, while there... Oh my god, there's like 3 different magic spheres on this level. Do you guys see that? Holy crap. They're not magic spheres, magic circles. Alright, there we go. Wow. Those are, that's gonna be interesting going... Oh, this is a new enemy. Hold on. Not the Wednesday, but this. Haley Holy. You get close to it, it jumps out of the ground, and it flies at you. So you want to wait until it stops flying, and then run over, and there we go. Alright. Let's hope that out of 3, we get at least 1 pretty good one. And... Oh, another Mimic. Shouldn't have even bothered. I believe I said it before, but Mimics transcend through all the dungeons. Mimics can be through every single dungeon. So they were not only in Divine Beast Cave, they will be everywhere. Pumped with energy, hell yeah. Alright. Here we get... Power-up powder, hell yeah, good weapon. Or, not good weapon, good item. You all knew what I meant. I just cannot talk today, but like I said, I'm too deep into the recording and don't want to restart. So you all can make fun of how bad I'm talking in the comments. The Wise Owl Shop. Hell yes. If you couldn't tell, that's one of the big ones I've been waiting for us to find. The Wise Owl Shop is our it's a good thing that wasn't enough to break it, because then I definitely would have restarted the recording. Okay, there we go. But anyways, yes, the Wise Owl Shop is our store for this area. Each area will have their own store, so you won't have to keep going back to the Odd Gaper in Northern Village every time. But the Wise Owl Shop, out of all of them, is probably one of the best. Mainly just because of one big item that the store people will have in his inventory. And I'll go over that when the time comes. Let's actually see. How many parts do I have in order to complete that? So let's see. We have torch. We have this. We have the entrance. Okay, so we unfortunately don't have the shopkeeper yet. But we've got at least a couple things for it. So that's good. Let's go ahead and use our key. There's our key. There it is. Yes, I am very excited for when we get to the Wise Owl Shop, because that is a very, very nice... Very, very nice shop. So let's see. Atmosphere. yeah. Funds increased a little, and our transmitter broke. No, there we go. Okay. Stop it with that X. Yeah. There we go. Almost missed the money. Grab the money. Walked past it like 5 times. And of course, the chest we came down here for was a mimic. Love the disappointment. It was actually a pretty big floor. We had 3 different magic circles on it, a bunch of mimics. Look how big the layout is. And there's the red berry. Alright, let's see what Mr. Owl wants this time. Will he tell us how to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? No, he doesn't want the chestnut. I swear to God, if he wants the snout again. Okay, we finally get to see the red berry in action. So it's a good thing I went back to kill those last enemies, because the last one had the red berry. I love the way they, like, casually creep in as if they're like, ooh, is anything around the corner? I can already see a bee coming towards me. Now, for like an oversized bee, they're really not all that threatening. And another flea. Ow, dick. Stop doing that. Come on. Come on, hit him. Don't die to a frickin' mushroom. There we go. What we got here? Sundew! Alright. Ooh. Which Ilza, I believe it is. It's weird because the capital I and the lowercase l's look exactly the same. As you can see, the witch is pelting apples at us. She will sporadically do this, so if she looks like she's turning away from you, don't fall for it, because she can instantly turn around and just do that. Oh my god, I paused like a millisecond before death. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys see that. Hold on. Let's hope I don't unpause by accident, because I want to see... If you look real closely there, right above option, you can see the apple that she threw at me almost ready to hit me. Which is really funny. Oh, our antidote amulet got ripped. Do we have another one? We do not. Alright, we only have the anti-freeze, so unfortunately, now that that's gone, we can get poison again, which nobody wants. Alright, so it's really hard to get close to these things, but once you do... Alright, come on. Don't make me die before I was about to explain the sundew. Please. There we go. Alright, let's get Tone back up and then we'll go through this. So, the sundew is your back floor key for this. You use the sundew. Sundew changed the leaf into a boat. So, you can use the boat and float down the river to get to the back floor. We'll come back to that. Actually, no, we'll go do it now. I was gonna say we're gonna do the rest of the floor first, but we might as well just do it now, since we still have a lot of floor left, and this is only the beginning. So we'll take the boat. And just take a nice casual stroll down the river. Now, with the sundew, it's gonna sound interesting, but you will actually need one of those. So if you can, I know I didn't because I was just excited to show it off, but if you find one, definitely set one aside, because unlike all the other back floor keys, you will require one. I'm not gonna say what for, but you will need one. So keep one set aside just until we finish the dungeon. Here we get a Stonebreaker. Like I said, very nice stuff back here, but I don't like fighting the enemies because they are extremely powered up, and I'm not messing with that. Alright, what's going to be blocking over here? Oh, just a Tuesday. It's fine. Just another Tuesday. Which is funny because I'm recording this on a Saturday. Here's our last one, and we get Sapphire. Alright, cool. And run back to the entrance. So it was actually a pretty linear back floor. I swear, I'm just going to title this video the episode where I just can't talk. It's been constant throughout this whole video that I just keep messing up what I'm saying. I don't know, maybe it's just been a little while since I've recorded and now I'm messing everything up. Alright. Now we can turn around and go ahead and finish this floor. Don't you do it. Alright. I don't like fighting these things in narrow hallways like this because there's not much room to move around. I hate that you barely take 3 hits. Alright. Cool. Yes. Go unpause. No, not that. There we go. Weapon. There we go. And we're almost at the point where if we find another good weapon, we can actually break this one down and put it onto that one. So, wait, what did we need again? So we need Ice, Wind, and Holy. So we actually have some ice here. Actually, what do these do? The Garnet. Fire. Sapphire. Wind, so we can actually use one of those. And the opal, I believe, was ice? No, the opal something else. I guess we'll use the ice then. Oh, there we go. Are you serious? After I just was in that menu. I'm not quite sure if your weapon can actually break when that happens, like if a magic circle causes the durability to decrease, but if it does, that's kind of a dick move and it would really suck. Come on. There we go. I like that we're killing these things in one hit, which is really easy, because that's mostly what you're going to find in this. So, all the different Pockles are going down in one hit. And unfortunately, the Witch Ilza, the most annoying enemy, is still taking forever to die. It takes 3 hits, because of course it does. Replace that W with a B, if you know what I'm saying. Come on! Like, that's the thing, like, she's gonna sit here and spam apples as we're trying to hit her. And there's our poison, yep. At least I only have antidote. I do. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to also use a cheese. There we go. Alright. Go ahead and collect this one. Mr. Mustache! That is our shopkeeper. Yes! That is our Mr. Shopkeep for the Wise Owl Shop. Alright. Come on. Are all 3 of these Thursdays? Oh my god, they are. Come on. Your friend took the hit for you. How do you feel? And now you both just died at the same time. How do you feel? Alright. So we've got a good chunk of this floor left. Moving up this way. Oh, big chest, big chest, big chest. What do we got? What do we got? Sandbreaker. Alright, let me look at that. I had my hopes up that it was going to be a slingshot finally, but I guess we weren't that lucky. Let me look at that real quick. So, it comes with a special ability, which is Thirst. Basically what that means is the more you use this sword... Or, no, sorry, not the more you use the sword. It's while you use this sword, it will actually automatically restore Thirst on its own. Yeah, like it says, made of desert sand and it absorbs water. So, in order to build this one up, you need a lot of those stats, a lot of holy and fire, and a lot of all those different stats. Let's see how those are looking on our Shamshir. So, we definitely have good attack, speed, endurance, and magic power. We got a decent amount of fire, and in most of those stats are looking pretty good. So, we might break it down and put it on the Sandbreaker when the time comes. I'm gonna look into the, there's one particular sword that I'm trying to get, so I want to look at the upgrade routes for that and make sure that I build up these weapons properly and get the one that I want. Earth egg. Basically all that means is it's a big patch of raised dirt. We did not just get an entire planet. There we go. There we go. Alright, and with this last atmosphere, that is everything we can do on this floor. So let's go ahead and go and exit. Take a quick dip in the water, and here we go. Alright, sir. For you, I have a red berry, which is actually what you wanted. Alright. I think we've seen him take 2 of each item now, which is actually pretty consistent. But anyways, that's gonna do it for this episode. So, next time on Dark Cloud, we are going to actually take a break from the dungeon and do some work around Monotaki Village. Maybe see how much progress we've made on restoring the river. See you guys then. You must be that monster that ruined the village. I know I'm right. You can't lie to me. That face of yours is a villain's face. Get ready. The hurt's coming. Enough already. Ah! And we're in another duel. Now this one always gave me trouble as a kid. Mostly just because of that diagonal.